I've played well over 1,000 games in my life, and many have left a lasting impression on me. I have built bridges and learned about physics in Polybridge. I've worked for bridges in Death Stranding. Games have had me questioning what is a human, and other games have shown me what emotions humans can have in a video game. But ultimately, every game has a narrative. The artist or whomever is making it has a world that they want to share with you, and they have their own creative style and own idea of how to bring that world to life. The way homes look, the way people dress, the way towns and cities are laid out, all of these tend to serve a purpose, mostly for gameplay, but ultimately because the artist wants it to look that way. Every game except one, GeoGuessr. Hold on, I know it sounds crazy and maybe a little boring, but I want to show you how this stupid little map game has changed how I look at the world and taking information forever. In order to take you on this journey with me, I need to explain first what GeoGuessr is, and many people have been exposed to the game from Rainbow clips where you've seen him do something crazy and omniscient, like guessing exactly where he is just by looking at the cloud patterns in the sky.
Please don't. Okay, it's the gradient of it's the cynical gradient, bro. No, like.
While all of that's super entertaining, it's not really what the game is about, and people don't normally play like that, so it doesn't give a good idea of what it is he's doing and why it's so fun. GeoGuessr at its core is just a game where you're placed at random on a Google Street View location around the world. There are tons of countries covered, tons of countries that are not, some more than others, but you're just placed there randomly, and you have to figure out where you are in the world. Your task is to get as close as possible, and the closer you are, the closer to 5,000 total points you can get each round. If you get a 5K, it means you are right on the dot where you are on the Google Street View. There is infinite casual content. People make maps showing off just weird locations, beautiful locations, pictures of cats. There's country-specific maps. There are competitive maps as well, and there is an actual competitive GeoGuessr scene that is alive and well with regional qualifiers, world championships, and actual casters like Chicago Geographer that sit down and break the action up to make it consumable for everybody who's watching. If any of this is surprising to you, I get it. But all these people are playing this, myself included, because it's fun. So why do people play it? What makes GeoGuessr fun?
Honestly, I've just loved geography my entire life. Like, for literally as long as I can remember, that was just something I've been fascinated by. And so I don't remember exactly how I found the game itself, but I must have come across it sometime in high school. And I was just like, oh my God, this is the coolest game ever. Like, I get to guess where I am in the world. So I just started playing casually in school, and yeah, the rest is history, I guess.
I started playing in 2017, and for the same reason that people like putting together puzzles, I enjoyed putting together the context clues that I was seeing in GeoGuessr. Every single round has an objective answer that is 100% correct, and you cannot argue with it. It is literally you against the world, and if you guess incorrectly, that's on you. You just didn't understand or know or get it, and you could do better next time because it's a real place. You can learn about it.
These are not North American looking guardrails. Is that something I can even say? Like, they don't look like those guardrails don't look like the guardrails I grew up. First guess, like Norway. Okay, you know what? Not bad. I'm okay with that.
This game is fun for so many different types of people that you wouldn't normally expect to play games like this. Take my good friend Emanu, for example. He's a world-traveling, international touring musician, and he's really good at GeoGuessr. So I managed to ask him some questions while he was touring in Kuala Lumpur.
I've always enjoyed, I guess, being smart or something. Like, it feels really satisfying to like deduct where I am, remembering like a certain fact about a country, like a certain like mountain range or like a process of like elimination. I find that satisfying.
At first, I really enjoyed just taking my global knowledge from the places I've traveled to or the movies and TV shows that I've watched and understanding, hey, that language looks Swedish, so it might be up in Sweden. And that did it for me, just that.
What I would do the most is just play the US map and just explore for a bit, try to get a perfect score. It would take me like an hour, but it was just for fun. But then in 2019, I started making YouTube videos about it, and I discovered the Reddit community. And then that's when I realized, like, wow, people are actually really into this. Yeah, after that, I just like fell in love with the competitive side of the game and just trying to learn as much as I could about it.
But there's only so much serotonin you can get from seeing a sign that says Warsaw is 45 kilometers north and then realizing you're just 45 kilometers south on a highway from Warsaw. It's even crazier, more likely, and more enjoyable when you get a place in GeoGuessr that you recognize. Maybe it's near your school, near your home. Maybe it's a place you vacation, but you know it's there because you've been there or seen it, and that is fun to see as well.
This is right next to the Sanders, where I would go get like breakfast before basketball practice or after basketball. Wait, no. And then I just get my hair cut at Kylie's.
Just like you can't blame the game for being unfair because it's just photos of the world, I started to realize I enjoyed just seeing photos of the world. Just, that's it, unbiased views of what people are up to, the day-to-day lives, what a house looks like over in Indonesia. What does Indonesia look like? There's so many islands over there. And yeah, I have a concept in my head of what these places look like, but what do they really look like in an unbiased fashion?
I also find it really nice to like see beautiful parts of the world that I did not know before, especially countries that no one really knows much about. Like, who knows anyone from
Bhutan?
Kyrgyzstan, you know?
Yeah.
Bhutan.
Yeah.
I did not know what Bhutan looked like before I played this game, and now that's like one of the countries I can't stop talking about. It's like one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Escapism as a concept is something we're all really familiar with playing video games. Like, that's almost the core component of playing an RPG. You want to escape from the real world and go play the video game one. But escaping from your real world by going and viewing the rest of the world, that's actually, yeah, it's still escapism.
Like, I remember when COVID hit and all of a sudden the Reddit started getting flooded with more people and the game just got so popular. Like, it was really interesting watching that real time. Part of my reason too was that was when I really got into it as well, was because we couldn't travel anywhere. Like, I had a lot of travel plans in 2020 for COVID, and then COVID happened, and
I found that when I was uploading GeoGuessr content to my YouTube or doing it on Twitch, a lot of people were chiming in and saying, oh, I live near there. Oh my God, I've been there before. Or just ridiculing me for not knowing a basic fact about a very large or common country, let alone a smaller one. And that sharing each other's experiences and knowledge, or just me saying, hey, this looks weird, and other people saying, no, that's the way things are over here. That dialogue was really awesome to me.
Tim the Tat Man taking a stab at GeoGuessr.
I mean, that is of course, this is, it's the white, blue, and red. Naturally, it's the, my gut, I want to say.
Wasn't Tim homeschooled?
Is that France?
Since when is Russia even important? France! Oh! Well, he's not wrong. France is vertical Russia when you think about it.
One of the earliest things that I remember learning was that Swedish language, it has this A, and that the Swedish homes, they tend to be red, while Norwegian homes tend to be black. Who knew? Not me, but yeah, obviously the Norwegian and Swedish people know, because that's your just daily life. And for me, learning that and just understanding a little bit more about what a day looks like, or what people look like, or what things look like over there, it's fun. Playing GeoGuessr and getting things right made me feel incredibly smart, but at the same time, it makes you feel really dumb when you just simply don't know what to look for, and there's something incredibly obvious right in front of you the whole time, and you're not aware of it because that's you just don't know. Here's an example. The world has climate regions, right? Like Spain, Italy, Greece, Turkey, the Mediterranean. Surely these things look the same, right? Not in my head. The image of Spain and the image of Greece and the image of Italy and the image of Turkey are all wildly different in my head until playing GeoGuessr. This is something that's so obvious because you learn about it in elementary school, but like seeing it in practice, you start to realize how similar places of the world are to each other, and also how unbelievably different places that you swear you know look like. Let's take Finland, for example. It's got these narrow birch trees, iconic, it's cold as hell, it's remote, you know it's got a ton of lakes, it's easy to identify, except this is Canada. And everybody knows the Great Plains of the US, the farming powerhouse that it is, that is Canada. That image is Canada too. Behold, the proud French people. Yeah, French Canada, you get the point. But in order to play the game better, in order to understand better where I am in the world, I had to learn more. I had to learn Metas. I learned Brazilian area codes because they are displayed everywhere and Brazil is giant and it all looks very similar, and so I was getting crushed. And Brazilian area codes are surprisingly easy to remember. They're grouped nicely. You can just kind of region guess if you know the first number. License plates definitely came next because they were a lot of easy ones to understand, like the British ones are white in the front and yellow in the back. Netherlands are all yellow. Italy's got these little baby ones that are super easy to see. Colombia has big yellow ones as well, and all of these are useful because these areas look very similar to ones around them. So if you can see a license plate, I mean, that's good info. The difference between an Australian road and South African road, Australia doesn't use yellow lines on the outside. South Africa does. That's the easiest thing to remember, and it helps because they look very similar. At no point learning all of this did I actually sit down and study it. Again, there are tons of metas that are awful. Like, I don't know what all of the license plates in the US look like, because they're blurry, dude. I'm not gonna like color match all of these. So unless it's like Oregon or New Mexico or New York, I don't know, man. It's hard to tell.
Personally, I'm really bad at Russia and Australia, and it almost hurts me more because those are countries that are so optimized. Like, you can memorize roads and so much meta for those two countries. But I personally just like haven't put in the work. So whenever I get dropped into a tough Russia or Australia, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I was Master 1 last week, and
Nice.
then this week I went on like a tilt streak, but now Master 2, but it's all good. I'll go back into Master 1. The one thing I don't really know yet is like gen coverage meta. That is Gen 3 is, and Gen 4 is. I'm like, yeah, bro, whatever. Like, I'm not sure if I can be bothered.
The Mongolian roof rack meta is insane. Like, there are people that know the size of the equipment pack on the roof and can tell how far away they are from Ulaanbaatar due to the size and position of the car and which way it's driving. I'm never gonna learn that. That's not that fun to me. That seems crazy. I want to learn more about like why the world looks that way and less about why the Google car looks that way.
I think people are really coming to terms with just how much meta there is and how it really dominates the game. I'm not a fan of copyright meta.
Yes,
Like, you can zoom into the image and like, oh, 2024 copyright. Okay. It's like, sure, it works, but like, is that really, that's like, I feel like almost too far down the meta path. When you get that into details like that, I don't know. It's not the most ideal thing, but it is what it is.
To me, a meta is using stuff that is not part of the game in order to beat the game. So like copyright or even kind of the Google Street View car, those to me take away from GeoGuessr. But like looking at the infrastructure of a city is not a meta. That's the point of the game. You looking at why there's a telephone pole there and what it looks like and how it differs from the ones around it, that is not meta. That's life, baby. That's the way it is.
Personally, the thing that really helped me, and this is like, you know, like actual things in real life meta, but like polls around the world, that learning those over the years has really helped me. I think it's honestly kind of interesting that so many countries have unique polls. If you don't play GeoGuessr, you would just like never think about that. But it's so helpful for the game, like not only to recognize countries, but like specific regions too. So I found that really interesting. It's like the most boring topic from an outside perspective, but like learning about polls, I don't know.
I agree.
Really cool.
It's been giving me so many icebreakers, man. Like, it's been helping me socialize, honestly. Like I'll meet someone from a country, and I'll have like fun facts to tell them about it, because I've just been learning through the game. It also, through the game, I've just been like looking up stuff about the country. It's like, wait, this is weird. Like, this, what happens in this place? Like the Dutch in Indonesia, the weird language in like Aruba and Curacao, and you just want to know more about it. So you just start looking up things about the country, and you just know things. And yeah, it's been helping.
All of this brings me to the reason I made this video. The whole point: how did GeoGuessr change me and my observation of the world and how I thought of things? And it's pretty simple. You're probably gonna be like, duh. It changed my view because by paying attention to these little details like telephone poles, like cars, like infrastructure, it opens up the avenue for you to ask questions. Why is it that way? Why are things that way? Stuff like, why do so many countries have buildings with unfinished top floors? A lot of these places have weird tax laws where you don't owe taxes on the home until it's finished construction, so they just never finish it. What makes dirt red? Not just red, but like so many different colors of red. And this is one of those things where you learn this stuff in school, hopefully, but you forget it or you don't really remember it because you're just repeating back what the book says. Once the test is over, I'm not going to remember about clay deposits. I'm not going to remember about iron deposits, and I'm certainly not going to remember about the global tectonic system that forces Ontario's shield to come up in a rock formation, making most of Ontario look rocky. Asking questions like what goes on Christmas Island and why is this a part of Australia? Why do the Philippines have so many different languages for their cities like Spanish, English, and Tagalog? Why do so many countries drive on the other side of the road? And why are there French poles in Senegal? Colonialism, which we also obviously learned about and is not great, but like, yeah, you know, seeing it is like, whoa, yeah, I mean.
That is also very true. Yeah, like you can see like remnants of colonialism, like you were talking about the French pole, like you'll see French poles in like Senegal. Yeah, I don't know. It just like you start with such a mundane topic and then you start to uncover like all these little things about the world and history, society. It's so fascinating, honestly.
To be clear, I'm just saying you observe these things because they are the way they are, right? I'm not making any like crazy statements here. It's a fact that Botswana be driving on the other side of the road because they were under British rule up until like the 40s. And that's interesting. Even the bad things are interesting too, just not as cool. The way that GeoGuessr works with 5 rounds in a row sometimes can give you whiplash with the juxtaposition between 2 locations back to back. You'll be sitting in a boat out on the Monaco Riviera, and then immediately you'll be in the most destitute place of America, and you're like, whoa, okay, hold on. It's not just about standard of living or day-to-day life or cleanliness or safety, guardrails, like OSHA, none of that. It's also just the differences between places. Even the same city can look insanely different if you just move a couple feet. I live here, this is Los Angeles, and this is also Los Angeles, and also this is Los Angeles. So if you don't know about California lines on the road or California poles, or you don't live here, good luck. This is France. We all know it's France because look, I mean, there it is. But also, this is France. And you can get these in the same round and have to be like, well, it's got the blue French sticker on it, so I guess that means it's a French pole. This is the UAE, and you know it because Dubai, it's a flat desert. By the way, it's not a flat desert. Here is the UAE. I saw that place playing GeoGuessr, and I was like, what is this? So I looked it up. It's a complex tomb. It's a tomb. It's a double enclave.
I mean, there are some even like states in the US, like Oklahoma, I feel like is more diverse than people recognize. Like it has some actual mountains and like deserty looking parts.
Oklahoma has mountains? Huh. Would you look at that? There are places that make me insanely jealous. Like these people wake up and they exist in this place. Like look at Switzerland. It's hands down the only place I've seen that looks probably better than a postcard. It's not fair. Singapore has to be the cleanest place on this planet. I swear they like sweep up the leaves when pine needles fall and stuff. There's no trash anywhere. And the Baltics and Nordic Scandinavian countries, you guys have the most robust public transport system I've ever seen. 3 hours in the middle of nowhere, there's like 18 bus stops every 500 feet. That seems cool. It is just photos of the world. I'm not making any political statements. I'm not saying some countries are better than others or some are worse to live in than others. You're just looking at a photo, man, and you are learning where you are based on the things in the photo, the way things are there in a photo, pretty unbiased, right? It's not to say there aren't biases in Street View.
Like there are some countries that, yeah, like only have a few roads covered. And so, yeah, it's interesting to think like if they chose specifically when to drive to like show things in a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point for sure.
All of these things, both good and bad, help me feel a bit more connected to this shitty rock that we're all living on, right? Like I want to know what other people are up to and what life is like and what it looks like. And is it hot? Is it cold? Whatever it is. My home and food essays, this essay, future essays really only came to be because I started to care enough to just ask additional questions about why things are. That's it. And because of that, you also tend to notice that everything's lying to you, man. Like that's the whole point of a game and a movie.
I think one of my favorite examples is The Office. which is supposed to be set in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
It's not.
They filmed it in California.
No way. Wait,
So-
and you know by the road line or something.
The California pole on the side of the road, and they're like, they're trying to make it real, but then
Right.
right next to it is a California pole. So you're like, okay, it kind of like ruins the immersion a little bit.
When I started playing Battlefield for a video and noticed that they're using French electrical poles in Chile instead of Chilean ones, I'm not noticing that without playing GeoGuessr. When I made the houses video and showed you European showers and radiators in a place in America, it's because the Ready or Not devs are Irish, and that's what they are used to.
It's more so just a fun thing than like actually ruining immersion. I feel like you notice it, you're like, oh yeah, they filmed it in California. That makes sense. That is also funny. Like, okay, I mean, they don't play GeoGuessr. They don't know how to actually make it look like this. So.
Right, they don't play GeoGuessr, they don't know. Knowing these things is kind of fun. It's like discovering Easter eggs that are only there for people who know, and they're only in there because people don't know. For example, popular media like including bollards that shouldn't be in that place are really fun for me. In one of the most recent Last of Us episodes, they are in Alberta, not Jackson Hole, Wyoming, because that's an Alberta bollard. Like, that is something I would have never known, never noticed, but I do now, and it's cool. It's actually in episode 1, Future Days. Check that out. Alberta, baby. At its core, GeoGuessr is simply a game about clicking on a map and trying to get as close as possible to where you are in the world. But what it has done for me and a lot of other people is vastly expand your understanding of the world.
Honestly, important just as like a cultural learning tool. What I like about GeoGuessr a lot is it's just a snapshot of everyday life. Like you get a random day on a random street somewhere in the world and you just get to see what's going on the ground. So I think it's just a unique way to immerse yourself in cultures virtually. It's obviously nowhere near like actually traveling to someplace in real life, but you just get some sort of unique perspective that you wouldn't from anything else.
Are there places that you've seen that you've been like, oh, I now actually want to go there? I know you travel the world often, so you've been often.
So many places. I mean, one of them is Kuala Lumpur. And I'm going to Singapore in a few days. Yeah, like both were places that I of course knew, but I didn't care that much about before playing the game. Like I showed you, the first photo I took here was a photo of the mainland pole. And that's one thing as well. I've now paid so much attention to what happens in places where I am and like what exists.
I love playing GeoGuessr, and I cannot understate how much it has changed my desire to be observant of things around me, things that I'm experiencing, and just be more attentive. And if you're not into that, or if you don't like the gamification or competitive nature of GeoGuessr, just open Google Maps, bro. We have HD full images of the world. Just go explore, right? Like, you should see things that you haven't seen before.
I think GeoGuessr just honestly has just reinforced my love of the world and just wanting to learn more about it. It's made me realize just how similar a lot of people around the world are. Like, you're on a street, there are houses, like everyone's just like kind of living similar lives in that sense. So, and I think that's really important in GeoGuessr, not to lose sight of that fact, just to be curious about the world, understand it more, have a greater appreciation, not just like, oh, I learned my metas, okay, I'm gonna get a 5K every time now, but like actually take some time, sit back and enjoy it.
I really find that this game is like good for my brain, for the way I view the world. You have to realize that there's people in these places in the world, like I mean, obviously, but like there's people everywhere and they all have their lives and they all have their like the issues and their politics and their thoughts. Maybe it's fun to think about those as well.
So that's why I play GeoGuessr. I like having a better understanding of the world. I like knowing what the world looks like. I like being able to contribute when people talk about things and places that they've been to. I like to be able to imagine life in other places, imagine where I could go in the future, places I've never even thought of traveling. I'm probably gonna go there now. I think that it can't be understated, the value of exploring the world in GeoGuessr. Thank you for watching the video. Again, I'm new to video essays, so if you have any feedback, positive, negative, whatever, that can make these videos better for you or for others, please let me know in the comments below, and I will get working on the next one.